it's Yambor's new video, and in this video I will be talking about semi-final draw, but also not really about semi-final draw actually, about the running order. But those two things are very connected, and I did a lot of work actually. You can see over here and also on the other page, and actually also you saw also on the intro that I did some analytical work which is based on last two previous years. Why not the years before? Well, we did have juries there, and the results are different. Of course, I can go through how public voted, but I think it was a different narrative, also completely different quality of songs, like especially when you really go back, not really last year, but 2023, and then you also do this mistake and watch 2022 or 2021. You're like, how can you compare this? But anyway, I went through semi-final 1. I went also through semi-final 2. I will probably separate those two videos for non-members, but if you will be a member, there will be one huge video. Let's see how I will do it, but definitely consider becoming a member because you're supporting me. It's not expensive. Also, there is so many exclusive content, and also time-wise, you will have this content available, which I think really worth it. And as I said, you're supporting me. But anyway, you can become supporters of this channel, subscribers basically, and also write in comments below, giving likes, thumbs up, and whatsoever. Definitely this is a discussion. What I really would like to achieve with this is not really, like, I will try to predict, of course, who will come and go through, but I will try to put it into the context, but as it's not that easy to just say it based on statistics and so on. I don't really see a pattern in here completely. Of course, I know that so many Eurovision YouTubers, they're saying like from this position all that, like if you look at it from a different point of view, from this I would always give you this producers, directors, but television producers perspective. I will give you a different pattern, different approach and different feeling from it, how I think it might be. And I don't really believe, and this is like, I don't really believe that there is a predominant place to be to really succeed, but there are places to be which are kind of given most of the time to the strong acts, also as a bait for viewers to stay or come to watch the television. And this is all what always would happen when the producers has the power to choose where to put certain country. It's not mostly because they want somebody to succeed or not to succeed. It's more about how the show dynamics will work in context of how many people they want to watch the show as much as possible, of course. Who to attract to get to the viewers, how to make this show relevant, kind of not laughable, but how to make it fun, how to make it dynamic, how to make it really compelling to watch, to stay and not to switch off, or to really make sure that certain amount of to really be compelling for those countries who are not maybe even involved in the semi-final, for example, to really watch it. And they're manipulating it, and this is like, I like, not producers liking to use this word, but they're manipulating it to be the certain best show. They are looking it from the show perspective, not really, I don't want to believe it, from the country's perspective. Because this is not their goal. They want the show to be successful regardless who will make it. Of course, there are some slots or something you can say like they're helping this country. Yes, but okay, this is the issue of this particular, the whole system, when producers have such a power that they can really influence the whole show, and they can. This is their superpower, and even bigger than any time before, which I don't agree with, even as a producer myself, but I still see Eurovision as a competition. And in my opinion, okay, we will not have the best running order of all of them, but I really would rather be the person who would fight for the countries are drawing, like a lottery, kind of like football matches in UEFA is drawn, like you have those balls, you take it, okay, number 3 is Czechia, number 2, this is fair. It's unpredictable and it's absolutely fair. In here, any country can say it's unfair. Why did you put us second and not third? It's based on what? And the producer will say, because I feel it this way. Because, and there doesn't need to be, and shouldn't be actually, those logical reason behind it, because the producers, if they have such a power, they should be having this power without being kind of questions. Why did you put this second on this third? Because they feel some kind of flow. They know the stagings. They know all of the context. And even though they need to decide how they feel the show will be the best possible, which gives them the power, which gives you the doubts. And I don't like it, but if they have this power, let's not question it the way that they should kind of tell you why did they decide it this way or that way. They felt it this way. They felt by feeling that this is better than this other option, even though maybe completely different combinations of order would be also good. Who would have thought this is a subjective thing? And if we will try to find we will try to objectivize it a lot. It's not possible, because it's so many various angles how you can view it, and this is how they decided. What I don't agree with at all, and I think this is one of the most terrible decisions for Eurovision competition as a competition, is adding big five countries to the running order. It's of course nice. It's of course nice from the perspective of those big five. It's also maybe fine from the perspective of the viewer who doesn't care who will go through. So for the show itself, somehow, but for the competition itself, it doesn't belong. It simply doesn't belong, because they are not competing. They are automatically in the finals, and I don't still understand why they cannot perform their full songs during the counting of the votes. Like, for me, this is absolutely unacceptable, because they are there as a country who's kind of competing but without competing, and they completely change the climate around those countries who are competing there, because they bring a different vibe. And this is not fair, because they are not competing, so don't be part of competition. Just don't. This is a trade-off of you being in the finals automatically, and in my opinion, this is an absolutely terrible mistake. Like, if I'm a competing country, I would be really pissed. For me, it's absolutely unbelievable, like, really, that there is no people who are fighting those stupid rules. I don't really understand, because I think when it's not affecting you, you don't fight against it, right? But just because you were lucky, kind of. I would say no. I think this is stupid, and I think we should talk about how Eurovision is run past few years from many perspectives, because this is really unbelievable in my opinion. The Eurovision is becoming, and this is a long intro, but it's necessary, becoming a show for being a show, for people who have only the fun. But then it shouldn't be a competition. And I think we are killing the competition elements in Eurovision for sake of having the better show, which turns out actually that we have a worse music, more like the most average. This is the most average Eurovision in past, I don't know how many years. And I could easily see the pattern when I now was doing it. When I saw what kind of songs there were in the past, what we have now. It will be also interesting Eurovision from this standpoint, but the issue is that if we will be killing the competition element, we will be losing quality, and then therefore we will be losing the show also. So it's stupid decision after stupid decision, which turns out to be driven by people. Like, this is for me, I know that some producers, they would like to have this power, brilliant, but unless they will have the material, it will be hard to work with, because it's actually not good. So this is what's going on, but let's go on. I will first start with semifinal 1, then I will go to semifinal 2, and I really would like to give you very in-depth, full podcast, however you call it, so you have a lot to think of, a lot to comment, lots to agreeing or disagreeing, basically a discussion. Yeah, I want to stimulate your mind, right? This is how I will approach it, so that's why this was such a huge introduction, but I think it's necessary for the whole context, and we will go through it completely. So in semifinal 1, we have those countries in this particular running order. Iceland first, second Poland, then Slovenia, then Estonia, then there is this intermezzo with Spain, Ukraine, Sweden, Portugal, Norway, then Belgium, Italy, Azerbaijan, San Marino, Albania, Netherlands, Croatia, Switzerland, and Cyprus ending. Now, what is already so weird for me in this is the positioning of the big five countries. Okay, they are there, we cannot do anything about it. But first semifinal, you know, the semifinal draws are drawn in two halves, first and second. First is first 8 countries, and then the second is the rest. So from 9th position until the end. So in here, we have it more likely did in thirds, you know, because Spain, Italy, and Switzerland creating a little bit different vibes over there. And Norway is the first one, or is the 8th country which should finish the first half of the semifinal. Then should be some intermezzo, and then the other countries should start. It's extremely confusing already in here, and I think we should really forget, in my opinion, about first and second half somehow, and it would be much easier if the countries should be able to draw their placing. It would be such easier, and there shouldn't be a question about what's the first half or second half. The placing and the semifinal, and that's it, you know. That should be it. Nothing else should really matter. We combine so many wrong things together that it's confusing, because first and second semifinal has it a little bit differently, which is also, in my opinion, kind of wrong. Anyway, so we don't have very correct rules already, the semifinals, but what we do have, Iceland on the first position. And so many people say, oh my god, the opener, this is not a really good position, or being second in semifinal is really not a good position. So let me tell you this, that from in 2023, 2024, both Norway and Cyprus qualified. Will Iceland qualify? So let's start also with big disclaimers, which I also wrote in here, and I forgot to tell you in before I will start with the first semifinal, that I've wrote 5 points which are very important, which is basically a pattern. And it's more about not the positioning, but about what is the pattern from last 2 years, who qualified and who didn't qualify. So first of all, strong songs, strong performance, men's is basically always qualified. So if your country will bring in an A game, and that doesn't mean now about the song if it's average or not, it's in the context. So if it's the superior song in this content, in this contest, and also a superior song among each other, better song, let's say, better performance, the chances you're qualified, it's much higher, almost 100%. Being average in average songs, so this will be funny this year, is a big risk. And because this year I would say most of the songs are kind of sharing the same fate in the quality, it might be very interesting. Why? Because you don't know who can qualify, it's much higher to tell who will and who will not. If your artist cannot sing and has problem with singing, the chance that you will qualify is basically zero. And last 2 years we could see that the difference between this and between artists who can sing and who really cannot sing is huge. Basically they don't receive points. So even the viewers can really find out that if the artist has super problems to sing, for example Netherlands 2023 or Belgium 2024, they receive almost no points. So this is, if I would be telling delegations what they should really focus at, it's the singing itself. The singing itself is the most important trait, because if your artist cannot do it, hard time, they will not qualify basically. So if you won't be able even to mask it or something, you won't qualify. Now, smaller countries with non-diaspora or countries with no really neighbor vote, they have a problem in general. So the chance especially when they are average, among this average, their chances are lower than the countries with diasporas and the neighbor vote. So for countries, for example, like Malta, Cyprus, I don't know who else, the countries who are not really having this, in general, I will get to it, it's harder to qualify in general. And about Big Five I've talked. So now let's go again back to semifinal 1 and let's talk about the countries there, which is Iceland on the position number 1. So from the tradition, they should basically qualify, because Norway in 2023 and Cyprus in 2024, they both qualified. The thing is that if we look at those openers from 2 previous years, both those artists could really sing and brought energy and were successful, especially Norway, but also Cyprus, they qualified easily. They qualified. Iceland would also qualify in my opinion, but there is a catch. if they will sing, those guys vibe with the song Roa, if they will sing like they sang in semi-final, they will not qualify. The reason is that even though they are energetic and funny and everything, which is the classic for the opener to really stand out kind of, it's an issue because they cannot perform. It seems that the viewers maintains that the performance something, but if the singing is not there, the qualification chances basically are almost zero, and the singing in the national selection of Iceland was not good. So this quality of singing probably wouldn't really help them to qualify. And there is one more thing, there are more jokish, how to say, funny based entertainment acts which they are fighting with to go through. If this is the best one, I don't know, but let's then, I will then put like who I believe and who I believe or not now from this positioning to qualify. If it just go to standard, opener should kind of qualify. Now let's go to number 2, which is Poland, and Malta in 2023 didn't qualify, but Serbia qualified in 2024 from 10th place. Now Poland, on the other hand, has a huge diaspora. Poland and Justyna Steczkowska really can sing live, so this is fine. And I believe that they will have a huge support. And I think producers in this case really try to say like, hey, come on, it doesn't really matter the order. And I kind of believe it doesn't really matter the order. It really depends on the quality, depends on the diaspora voting. I believe that this is not a song which will be in mass voted by non-diaspora. I don't think so. I think it's too Eurovision cliche, and I, for example, think that if this same song is done by from the San Marino, they will have struggled to qualify. But it's Poland. Justyna is absolutely big star. She's supported by Polish, even the people who doesn't like Eurovision. And we can expect a higher placing at Eurovision in general because they will vote. They will really pick the phones and vote, and I think this is the most important. Who will be able to activate their diasporas to really take the phones and vote? They will have easy way to go through. So the countries who will underestimate this, and they are also average, they will not qualify, which might go for Slovenia number 3, but third slot in past 2 years, Serbia and Lithuania in 2024 qualified. Third slot, somehow it's really good, and especially all this whole start, it's kind of good to be. In this case, Iceland brings fun, Poland brings Eurovision cliche, so everybody would be pumped up. Slovenia brings ballad, big emotion, the first big emotion, so it will be a huge contrast to it, which might activate the people, if they will be already watching Eurovision, to vote. Because first of all the Polish people will be there, and I think Eastern Europeans in general, they are not that cynical towards ballads, and if they bring a good message, a real one, if Clement will not do this spin, if they will keep it simple, if they will keep it nice and elegant, there will be big chances for Slovenia to qualify, in my opinion, from third slot, because it will preserve some emotion. It will be hard to beat the emotion, and third slot for them, in my opinion, it's very good, because if there will be a lot of viewers already, they will be the first one who will show some real stuff. And I think this will stay in the mind of people, because all the other song, all the other ballad will be competing with Slovenia. And I don't think actually that in this lineup is something which can beat the emotion. So from this point, it's kind of it will become very interesting. Of course, this is still extremely subjective because I have no idea who will qualify, but I will bet that after the fun and after the cliche, there will become something which looks serious, with performer who we know he can perform, and if they will maintain the proper emotion, if they will not screw it up, I think they can really be very safe qualifier. And now you will say from Eurovision hardcore fan standpoint, oh, this is a boring. People who are watching Eurovision, they are much more like, you know, imagine that Eurovision fans, there are hundreds of thousands, right? But now we are talking about tens of millions of viewers, and they are able to take those funds and vote, and they will vote for something which catches their heart, which I think Slovenia really might. It really depends on on the staging, the emotion. If they will be able to give emotion, they are sure. If they won't, not. But the guy can really sing, the guy can really perform. Clement, really can he do those two very key things for qualification. They are the key things, and he has charisma, also very important. So if the performance will be at least really good, don't believe the odds. Estonia on number 4. So Latvia in 2023 didn't make it, and they had serious song, balladic, I wouldn't say completely ballad, but band, nice quality song, but only public was voting, and this was a borderline. Actually, they needed only 3 points, which in this case Ireland last year qualified from the 4th place because they had extravagant, brilliant staging. Brilliant staging made it. I wouldn't even say the song, but the whole package made it through easily, which I think might be also Estonian thing this year, because it's a funny song. It will go after different emotions, so many people could say, oh my god, this bullshit. So probably those people who will vote for Slovenia wouldn't vote for Estonia, but it will bring the note back, you know, to fun, after the extremely deep story, to something extremely easygoing, nothing funny. And I think those two emotions would be kind of giving the people, like, it would work as a nice contrast in a good way, in my opinion. And Estonia is a joke act, funny act, charismatic act. I'm very curious if this guy will be able to sing it well, because I think this is the only thing what can really break a neck to it, that it's not such a crazy compelling song if it won't be sung well. This is the only thing. On the other hand, I think then if it's gonna be like fine, sure qualifier 100%, then follow. If yes, I still think it will be. So I would say Iceland as a question mark, and then any other country I would say yes. Then the whole vibe will be killed a little bit by Spain, which doesn't belong there, but it is what it is. On the kind of 5th position, fake-ish. This will be kind of first intermezzo, and Spain will bring something what Poland brought, and I think this is not good for Poland, kind of, because people will be comparing it already, and they are voting afterwards. So Poland still has the big diaspora. Maybe also it's not good for Spain, you know, but the vibe from the song is kind of same. It's very cliche. The diva is dancing. I really hope they will do this again, because this is like who will be the cringiest? I think they will not do it, right? Because this was it was so weird. Anyway, Spain I don't count, but it will set up the vibe for the next country, which is Ukraine, which is serious song. Of course, we don't need to doubt Ukraine to qualify at all. Like, whatever reason we put, the quality of musicality is there, yes. The diaspora will be voting for Ukraine, yes. The political situation, yes. Like, definitely Ukraine, there is no point for it's not qualifying, so it's quite obvious, it doesn't matter. 5th place, they were 5th on number 5 also on 2024. Of course they qualify, but also Portugal with this cabaret song qualify from number 5. You know, hard to tell. I don't think it's about the positioning. If people will be watching it, Ukraine is definitely there. We know that the whole, like, lots of people will be there watching. Also people from Spain will be probably watching there. So a lot of people already to vote for. And after this is Sweden, so it's extremely strong continuation, especially from the fact how now Sweden is in the odds, one of the biggest favorites to win Eurovision from the odds, which for me it's absolutely ununderstandable, but okay, I don't need to understand everything. So Sweden is there. Sweden is another jokish act. The full first half is full of joke acts, and this will bring after Ukraine completely different vibe. I think it will look a little bit inappropriate after Ukraine. I don't really understand why it is there. I would more likely put Napa, but I understand that the producers want to make this serious, let's bring in fun again. Like, it's so cliche dramaturgy, really, absolutely cliche dramaturgy, but okay, this is one of the way how you can really do it. So they put Sweden afterwards. I also think Sweden is qualifying, even though from position number 6, last 2 years, no one qualified, neither Poland, neither Ireland, but it was caused the fact that there weren't really good performances, really, and we know that Swedes, Kai from Barabastu, they can perform. It's a song for New Year's Eve event, fun song for kids, yes, but is it funny to watch it? Also, yes, it's memorable. So it's more likely about if people will take it. I kind of doubt that it will receive so much point as odds predict, because I don't really think, especially in this competition, that this is the best joke act, but might be most universal because also kids will love it. I think this is the most family-friendly act for your Eurovision how is it called? Interval act, basically. Yes. But this is what it is. We have it as a competition song, and it's qualifying. And it's also Sweden. And also Sweden has Iceland and Norway there. Come on. Portugal on position number 7. Before that, in 2023, we had Croatia. In 2024, we had also Croatia. And then now we have Portugal with Napa, which is for me the biggest question mark of qualification. The reason is the diasporas. Diasporas will vote for it. It will really... This is a strong song from this position, that it has all of this power to activate diasporas, especially as Portuguese love it. Portuguese love it everywhere, probably because of the topic of the song or something. And this is a big community. They have Switzerland in here, they have Spain to vote in here. And in other countries, I think this song kind of also hit it. So if those people will activate themselves, take phones and vote, and I don't believe that the number of votes necessary for qualification in the semi-final it's very high, because you need to pay for it, so not everybody will take it. This will save Portugal to go through. In any other, and also from position number 7, last 2 years, everybody qualified. It's a kind of a good position then. From this perspective, I don't believe that much. It will be a hit after Sweden, but it's a normal song. And I think to be normal song, it's not cringy song, it's not a bad song, it's just absolutely normal. I would say kind of no taste, nothing, this kind of feeling. And I would put question mark, and I will go to it a little bit later, because they will have the voters for them in here. Who are the voters for them? Not just diaspora, but also the people who appreciate normal good music instead of Eurovision crazy stuff, especially after Sweden. We would say like, oh my god, where Eurovision is heading, but maybe not, because also semifinals are more watched by Eurovision fans than the grand final, which is like really whole family, whole countries. So extremely curious, but I would put question mark, because I would say in normal years this would be having a hard time to qualify, but after Ukraine and Sweden, the Portugal brings no flavor, in my opinion, this year. It's very subjective talking, right? So let's get to it, because already I have 5 qualification songs, 2 question marks, and then we go to Norway, which for me would be very interesting to watch if they can qualify. Of course, they have Iceland and Sweden to vote for them. I think also they have LGBT community to vote for them. And let's be honest about it, also matters. It brings a crazy cliche, and I think also for the very young, this Z generation, I think this might be compelling song, something what was Norway in 2023, something what I don't really get at all, but it maybe brings something which really works on different kind of voter. But I would say, in 2023 Switzerland qualified with the water gun. That was a strong song, strong performance. Iceland didn't qualify with Hera Björk last year, but it was a nice performance, but not really a strong song, anything. I think with the juries they would have much better life, not really ending up completely last, but okay, this is what it is. Norway we know that the guy, the Kyle Alessandro can really perform, and this is very important thing. He really can perform, and he really can sing. So I would say from this, and this song, regardless, I don't kind of like it. It's a strong song from the perspective of Eurovision. So in here, I would say a qualifier actually. To be really like, if I just go through those points I was mentioning, this is like a qualification song, especially in the average here like this, where not so many strong things, but that would mean that, and I would put yes, that Norway is a sixth country. And now we have 15 in the semi-final. There are only 4 who can qualify, and I have only from 9 to choose from. So this is what I, not 9 actually, yes, 9. This is the 6, and I have 7 to choose from. Yes, sorry, 6. Yes, if I count from. So 4 slots and 2 non-qualifiers then, if I count normally. I'm sorry if I don't now. I will then go through it once again. So after this, we have Belgium in second half. So Belgium is second half country, and from the position number 9, Israel in 2023 qualified. Slovenia with Raven qualified 2024, despite the not really good staging, but still strong song, strong performance. So they qualified, and they qualified from position number 9 with 51 points. But this was very average semi-final also, kind of. 51 points, still enough, 10 points ahead the 11th place. And Belgium has a strong song this year, and I know that so many people are sleeping on it from the position of being favorite, and it kind of didn't brought the expectation, but you know, Red Sebastian really can perform, he can really sing, and they already in semi-final or in their national final they did amazing staging, so they know what they want to do with it. And if they basically copy paste the principles they did, and they will just a little bit enhance it, I think this will actually come from one of the first 5 places, because everybody from all the category might vote for it. LGBT people, yes, this is also by the looks, yes, but also people who enjoys dance EDM music will qualify, will vote for it, because it screams quality. It will look good. I think it will look like exclusive. I have no doubts about it already, because they already proven they can do it. And I think if the artist can sing and the song itself is kind of strong, okay, not for everybody, but you know, We Are Domi also qualified, and I think this is a stronger song and stronger performer. Like, I wouldn't have doubts that this is qualifying in this year, especially that from 9th position, the starter of the semi-final or the second half of the selection of the semi-final, this will qualify. So I'm saying yes. So I already have 7 songs, 3 to go. Then after Belgium goes Italy. This is completely different vibe, and setting up the mood for the next one. Of course, no one is voting for it. I don't know what to think about it. Like, it's not about Italy now. It's about they should not be there, because they are changing the vibe of the whole thing, which is maybe good for viewership from the producer standpoint, but definitely it's not good from if you're the country who are competing there. Just don't belong. It's not belong to competition anyway. On number 10, it's Azerbaijan, and historically in 2023 and 2024, both songs qualified, and we have different songs. We had Moldova in 2023 qualified. It was a little bit who to really, I don't know who to compare with, but Moldova was this very energetic, dancey, and also local language, like Romanian, it was the Moldovan language, and also it was this having this local vibes. Finland had Joke Act last year, also qualified, and Azerbaijan, they have absolutely different song. They have the clear pop music, kind of enhanced Lucky song from Pharrell Williams. Actually, this Run With You. From my perspective, this is one of 2-3 best songs this Eurovision really have. But still, Azerbaijan has crazily bad track when and they basically didn't qualify 2 years in a row. They, I think, also didn't qualify for a reason, didn't sending the really proper quality. Last year the song was kind of good, but the staging, it wasn't compelling at all, it didn't work at all. So if they will bring the fun the song has inherited in this energy those Mama Gamma guy has, and they will activate the people who are not taking care, like they don't care about diaspora and so on, like the normal regular viewer from any country, I think they will receive points from anywhere if their performance will stand out, because already the one ingredient which is good, it's the song. They have a strong song, and if they will be able to perform and they will not screw up the staging, it's clear yes, in my opinion. Like, I don't understand why we should doubt it, but because they have this ingredient. They don't have diaspora, they don't have neighbor voting. Okay, they miss all those really nice things, but what they have, and what they have, all those strong points to qualify. Strong songs, hopefully strong performers, and if they will have a good staging, so the whole package will look good, they are qualifying for sure. So this is the 8. I don't doubt it really. All, like, it's proven that the strong songs, if they are performed well, they always qualify. So the only thing what can really take this thinking of mine off is that they will not be able to perform. Otherwise, they have all the ingredients and all the good songs, kind of those strong songs. This is not an average song. It's not that if it's an average song, I would doubt it. But this is one, like this song would be competing even in any previous year because just of the simple quality of the song itself. Definitely from the general viewer, maybe not from hardcore fan viewer, because it's classical pop, kind of, but it's really good. So this comes for Azerbaijan. Then we have on 11th place San Marino. From 11th place, Sweden qualified in 2023. Moldova didn't qualify from previous year. Does it matter? Moldovan song was okay. The performer was okay, but the staging, it just was bad. It was bad. So you look at it and it doesn't bring it cannot give you the emotion or anything. I would say if there is Moldova and they would have, for example, Polish song from this year, they would have the same fate. But Moldova is not Poland, and Moldova don't have even Romania here, even like they don't have really diasporas to vote for them. Anyway, this is about San Marino, which is the same fate. No one really take care. They have the worst position, one of the worst position of all the countries, if they don't bring the AAA game. And now this song what San Marino has this year, Tutta l'Italia, is very popular among Italians. It is probably popular among many Eurovision fans, but none other people knows about it. And it has one huge downside, that the main protagonist of this song is not singing it. And I think this puts a huge question mark to San Marino's song, because if it has good numbers now, but in what territory? Would Ukrainians really care about the song? Polish? Slovenians? Might be the connection with Italy. Estonians? I don't know. It's one of those another songs which is hit because it represents something what Sweden represents this year, or Estonia, or even Iceland, this locality. It's not a big song. It has advantage. It's in Italian. It has Italy to vote for them also. It has also Spain, and so they will understand all of it. So hard to me to decide now. So I would put question mark, which is the third question mark of the day. Maybe one of those borderline qualifiers. Maybe it will qualify from a higher place. But let's get next time. Let's get to the next place. So on the very terrible place kind of is Albania, which is number 12, where Azerbaijan didn't qualify from last 2 years, 2023 and 2024. Didn't qualify. And Albania in this case has different song. It has quality. It has definitely jury quality. Does it have public voting quality? And now this is the nice question, because from number 12, public didn't vote for Azerbaijan last 2 years, but was it because they were 12? I think it was because it just wasn't simply good enough. And they don't have this support from, automatic points from somewhere. So that's the reason Azerbaijan, for example, last year received only 11 points you know, but in Albania last year, even though it's hard to, you cannot really compare. 14 points, but also with not a good song and not a good really staging actually. So, but that also kind of say, because I think Albania last year was this borderline qualifier, or people believed that it might qualify, and it failed big time with public voting. And I think, and this is not what I like, that ZRM can also have issues to qualify. And now, from my perspective, own perspective as a juror, let's say, the song has a huge quality, especially if they will somehow manage to do this second artist, this drummer singing part somehow more compelling and not weird, basically, because it's a very artistic song, but it has this amazing melodical standard. It's not this classical Albanian big song trying to big diva stuff and so on. No, it goes differently, and I think this is the magic. The song has a magic, it has a soul, I would say, which gives it the qualification vibe, in my opinion. And I would say it won't be easy for them, but still they have two ingredients which are important. They have a really good song. They would have, I saw them live, so they have the spirit, the charisma in the live performance. It radiates something which no one would be able to describe, but it has this, you know, it has this catchiness. Maybe it's my wish also, but I would say this song will also kind of help with diasporas. The diasporas will help with this, and also the neutral fans, I think, would vote for it, because it's not cringe. It's specific. It's artistic, but it's not cringily weird. Like, for example, Portugal in 2019, which was pure cringe. This is art with being really art, not you should think it's art. This is really, I think, good. So I would say Albania is qualifying, even though I would put a little question mark there, but I think it's qualifying, and I think it do very well in the finals with the juries. It's this song which brings in quality in art, which is real quality, you know. I think this is very important to say about Albania this year. This is one of the least songs, well, minimum songs this year, which brings the complete quality. Maybe will never become this popular banger, because it's not, but it doesn't mean that all the songs needs to be fireworks. It brings real quality, and Eurovision needs songs like this to really show the artist, you know, quality songs make sense. So even for sake of preserving Eurovision as a contest which makes sense for quality artists, Albania, thanks God for you. And I think it's qualifying, and I think the same fate coming for Netherlands on number 13, where Czechia in 2023 qualified with a strong song, but not bad, good staging, but strong song. Australia didn't qualify with both not good staging, not a good song. Definitely not in the package live. That was one of the worst last year. Still, they were almost qualifying. They were 11th, so it also means Australia is very popular, which we will talk about it in the next semi-final. But Netherlands, there is only one thing what could stop them for qualification, and that's a bad singing. If he will be able to sing, if Claude will be able to sing, then there is zero doubt that Netherlands is qualifying, like zero doubt, because the song, especially on the standards of Eurovision 2025, is strong. It would be average in 2023, not in 2024, definitely not average in 2025 from the perspective of what quality songs we have. And if he will be able to really deliver live, which this is the only thing what could stop him not to qualifying, and I think he will be qualifying from one of the first 5 places. He will receive public points, and if we will then combine it with jury points, I think this might be also a winner of the semi-final, but there are no juries. So Netherlands is qualifying for sure from number 13. As you can see, there is no really pattern of who will qualify or not. So already we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 qualifiers. And that would mean that the next two songs, last two songs, Croatia and Cyprus, will not qualify from number 14 and from number 15. But we have 14 Croatia, then there goes for some reason Switzerland, who is not going there. And the last is the Cyprus as a qualification song. It's not good for Cyprus in my opinion. First of all, after the Netherlands, so we will have the series of quality songs, basically pop from various angles, including San Marino, but we have quality songs in the way of the quality, how to say it, quality approachability, and then goes Croatia, which is pure chaos. And Croatia chance to qualify is only this. First of all, he needs to sing well, which he didn't do in his national finals. But if Croatian Poison Cake from Marko Bosniak will sing it perfectly, I think that there is a slight thing of Bambitak effect from last year, but it must be perfection staged, and it must be pure, utterly pure chaos, craziness, absolutely craziness, not what we already saw. That if there will be such an issue of singing, and if there will be lacking of charisma, and not really crazy staging, but crazy in the way, not crazy how they did it in the semi-final, but in the national final, but crazy in the way that it will be like making sense, like in Bambitak, that it was pure witchcraft ritual, everything was tip-top on point, then it might work, because the position says actually that it's 50-50. Netherlands in 2023 didn't qualify, but they couldn't sing. It's over. Portugal qualified last year, but it was a brilliant performance and perfect staging, which made them qualify, even not for so many points, but they qualified. They safely qualified, even though last year they received only 58 points, so there was this big difference between the ones who received a lot and then the ones who received the rests, let's say, but still safe qualifier. I think Croatia can be this borderline qualifier if, and I'm putting a question mark, because for me it's not completely over story. It's over story if he wouldn't be able to sing it. If it will look like in the semi-finals or on the national finals, no. But remember Bambitak from the national finals? It was also a mess. It wasn't good. It was terrible performance, basically, on the standards of Eurovision. But how they masked it, all the downsides they masked, and they showed only the strengths of the song live, then this is a different story. So question mark in here it might be very interesting semi-final from it. Then goes Switzerland. Okay, this is a very, very nice song. It will be strong singing performance. I already saw it, how she can sing, Zoe May. There is no doubt that this is some completely different emotion. And after it, Cyprus with dancing, which I think this is not a really good dramaturgy from Cyprus. For Cyprus, this is a deadly thing that actually Switzerland goes before them. And I saw Theo Evan to sing this song. It was terrible singing. So from this perspective, Cyprus, in my opinion, is a non-qualifier. I wouldn't even put, if like this way, the song is strong. It has also strobe lights as a competition. It's basically it's the same song, almost the same song. If those two competing together, the Belgium already, it's clearly qualifier. Cyprus, I will a little bit doubt. First of all, they're like, who will vote for Cyprus that much if he will not be able to sing? So if he's not able to sing, no chance. Otherwise, I would put question mark, right? And I'm putting question mark only, and the reason is only because I want to now put some things in question. Otherwise, I would say non-qualifier from what I saw, even though I think the song is kind of strong. It's not enough. If the performer cannot perform, if the performer doesn't have proper charisma, it wouldn't go. And I think this might be the issue for Cyprus this year. But on question mark, I put Iceland. On question mark, I put San Marino. On question mark, I put Croatia. I put Cyprus. Now, if I put what other average songs we have Poland, we can put Estonia, we can put Sweden, we can put Portugal, we can put Norway, and that's it. We have so many things, so many others, and in this case, it might be interesting, because if it's strong, if there are not so many average songs, let's say, on this fact that, how to put it, so let's put it this way: in a strong years where there's a lot of strong songs, the songs who will receive a lot of public points, they will take them all, and the average will receive almost nothing. And it can be from position number 1 to position number 9, they all will receive a lot of points, and then the 10s will receive something, and then the rest nothing. That happened, I think, in 2023. Yes, that happened in 2023, that from Finland to Portugal to 9th place, the 9th place received still 74 points. Then Serbia luckily gets through with 37, 11th was 34, and then 10, 7, 4 and 3, nothing. In this case, I would say it wouldn't be that easy, and it can also, because for example Azerbaijan, which no one normally would for, is having a strong song, you know. So I think it will be very interesting. I think that only few songs will receive like extremely huge number of votes, which is Poland, which is Ukraine. It doesn't matter if it's fair or not. And I think also Netherlands. Those 3 countries will be dominant in the vote. Then we will have this averageness, let's say, which can be for Belgium, with, I think, very similar to last year, when first 5 songs, let's say, receive a lot, and then from position 6 to 11, let's say 12, there was not such a huge difference of votes, of points received. It was much more close to each other, and all those little differences can play in fact for the ones who cannot sing. They are off, in my opinion. In this case, they will not receive points, and I think this is a problem, big problem for Iceland. So Iceland is more likely non-qualifier for me, not for the fact that they are funny or something, but because they cannot sing properly. This is also a big problem for Cyprus. This is a big issue for Croatia. And San Marino, it's a special case because the main artist doesn't sing, and I think people will not eat this. They will not eat it. So I'm saying that San Marino will be on verge of qualification. And now on which behalf? Actually, and Portugal is not qualifying, in my opinion. They will eat a lot of points to some, so they will basically help they will basically help some country. I think they will receive a lot of points, something about 30, maybe 35. It won't be enough, in my opinion, and they will not qualify. But they can sing, they can do all of it, but the song, that's nothing what you would vote for. Diasporas will vote for it, but would it be enough? They are not the only diaspora here. So in my opinion, Portugal is not qualifying, and they will be on the verge, and this will be a question mark for San Marino. And then who will be the other question mark? I would say Slovenia might be the question mark. Then will be one of the last places to qualify. Slovenia, San Marino, and I would say from this standpoint that on the verge will be also Norway and Albania. Regardless you like it or not, those 4 countries, in my opinion, will be on the verge of qualification. The rest, I don't think it's too compelling. Iceland has a huge competition, and another joke asks, if I would say, would I send points to Sweden or Iceland? I think the answer already is known. And Portugal not going, Croatia not going, Cyprus not going, simply based on facts, and Iceland, they are not that competition-wise. If, on the other hand, Croatia would like do some miracle, they would change the whole order on behalf on somebody like Albania, San Marino. So this is what I think. So who's qualifying? In my perspective, Poland, Slovenia, Estonia, Ukraine, Sweden and Norway, almost the full first half. Only Portugal and Iceland is not qualifying. And then Belgium, Azerbaijan, Netherlands is qualifying. And that's it. This is from this running order, but I honestly think it's not because of the running order is predetermined or making some countries to make it a little bit easier. Actually, you would say Cyprus or Croatia would have it easier, but then you put Switzerland there, who doesn't need to compete completely. You know, I don't think running order is that important. I don't actually think so. And actually, honestly, if in here for example, the producers will really calculate a little bit more in the way who will be people waiting more for, I would put Netherlands even further, because this is I think in this, especially in second semi-final, this is the biggest artist here, and this is the biggest artist in the whole. Yeah, this is the biggest artist for sure in the whole semi-final one, like in the way of popularity in Europe. So basically, putting Netherlands 13 is like, huh? Anyway, this is different, because who really cares from this lineup about Croatia or Switzerland or Cyprus? Only people who really wants to watch it, you know. From the producer's perspective, I don't think this is the proper order for if they want to achieve what they want to achieve. That's the biggest viewership, because for those countries I would switch off, kind of. After Netherlands, I saw everything, and now what? Who do I want to see? Because Croatia doesn't really has Slovenia, but Slovenia is a small country, small nation, and Cyprus also doesn't really have anybody in here to vote for them. Interesting choices, but write me what do you think. Write me in the comments below. I'm very curious about what you think about my thoughts. I will now change the batteries in my camera and I will go back for second semi-final. Okay, and let's go to second semi-final. If you haven't watched my previous video, I'm talking a lot about, like, if you're not a member, probably you have two separate videos. For members, this is a full, complete, crazy stuff. Doesn't matter. Let's see how I will deploy this, if in two videos or it will be one. I still haven't decided yet, but let's talk now about semi-final 2 running order of Eurovision 2025. And yeah, I will talk again about the running order, but the thing is that there are 16 countries competing, 3 countries also non-competing, but they are put into the running order differently than in semi-final 1 and differently than previous year. As again, I will just say that I don't agree with this, because competing countries should compete together without interference, and that's, like, I think it's extremely simple to say. And then the non-competing countries should be taken off to different, like, after, like, for example, when the points are counting or where people are voting, there where is a space for those countries to show off complete full acts, it would be nice. Then now they are part of the competition without competing. They are changing the narrative for some countries. Can make it worse, better, doesn't matter. But let's start with how the order really is. So first we have Australia opening, then Montenegro, Ireland, Latvia, Armenia, Austria, then UK interfering, then Greece, then Lithuania. This is the first half of the semi-final, and second half is opened by Malta, then is Georgia, then France is there, non-competing, then Denmark, Czechia on position number 12, then on 13 is Luxembourg, 14 Israel, 15, then Germany, then 15 Serbia, and 16 Finland. I will compare it to 2023, 2024. I will tell you who I think might qualify based on what we will say now, and we can then discuss in the comments below everything. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, become members if you want to support my channel, me. It's not expensive, but it's nice to be done, and because you're receiving content like this, right? Very analytical from the, let's say, professional juror. Yes, actually yes, and TV producer, former head of delegation of Czechia, and so on, and producer of many television shows for various genres in various countries. So yeah, so let's start with Australia in position number 1. Position number 1 in semi-final 2 last 2 years was cursed. Neither Denmark, neither Malta made it from such a semi-final, but I don't really think that this positioning in semi-final really makes such a huge difference if you have something to offer. If you're average, which I would kind of say that in this Eurovision in general, most of the countries are, then it's kind of harder to predict. But Australia, and it has Gojo with the song Milkshake Man, which is first of all fun. And doesn't matter what I think about it, I like it or not, it's fun. Second of all, he's a really good charismatic performer. So it's completely opposite what Australia sent last year. And it's also very different from Denmark and Malta was sending previous years. Australia also, unless Denmark and unless especially Malta, is extremely popular country to be voted for. Even last year, they made it almost made it from, they were 11th with the song they sent, with the performance they've presented. So, you know, they were 11th with 41 points, only 6 points to go. And it wasn't good performance. It wasn't good at all. So Australia has this very good position in Eurovision family, not like any other country. So they're very popular, and I think Australia is qualifying from the first place. And it's a strong opener, fun opener, which is not good for the second place actually, which is Montenegro. Now, people say second position is somehow cursed. I think it counts more for the finals than semifinals, especially because people are not, you know, watching properly the starting of the show with the songs and so on that much, especially after the strong opener, which in here is Australia. Semifinals are a little bit different because semifinals are watched by countries because they want to qualify, right? So it's watched by the people who want to vote for more likely, who wants to vote more likely than people who doesn't care, because people who doesn't care, they watch just the grand finals, right? Not semifinals. But Montenegro is not really in a very strong position in here. They're starting second. The song is old school, obsolete kind of. It's vocally strong. So again, who's vocally strong has much higher chances to qualify than who's not. But Montenegro on second place with this song, it's a little bit tricky because Montenegro in the semifinal has who to like neighbor voting. It's only Serbia, if I'm not wrong. Like Montenegro can have a little bit of Australia, let's say, but then and maybe also Austria from diasporas voting, and then Serbia. I don't really think it would be enough, but it will eat some points. 100% it won't end up last completely because, you know, also for example, I would compare it to Moldova from last year, let's say musically. It was also kind of obsolete song, but the performance was professional, the performance was sung amazingly well, which I think in this case we can also expect. The staging in Moldova last year was the one which killed the chances of the song. In this case it can be the same. If the staging will not be good, it won't end up very well, but also Moldova last year received actually kind of lot of points, which you wouldn't expect. But they received some points, and they received points from like 20 points they received for this song. So also this can be and they didn't have such a position as Montenegro has it this year, with Serbia in the semifinal, also diasporas. So I think Montenegro, I would put a question mark because there are some very interesting issues and points which can really help them to qualify, because we don't need to doubt the performance of the artist herself. Strong singing, quality singing. The song, okay, but this is important in semifinals based on data, basically. The really good singing. Who will not be able to sing is not qualifying. This is a truth, or if it's not like completely crazy stuff. But I think the semifinal doesn't have it that much because all of it is in first semifinal. Anyway. Third is Ireland. Ireland, who knows? Romania didn't qualify in 2023, but the artist wasn't like it was a crazy bad song. It was a crazy bad staging. It wasn't a really good performance. So, like how can you really make it as a it goes with the rule? On the other hand, Greece last year qualified. Yeah, Greece qualified with Zari. That was a really strong song, actually strong artist. Not such a great staging, but it's also in the result it was visible that it wasn't that compelling for the people to vote for. They ended up fifth. The first four songs sucked up all the votes from the public, and then they were having from fifth place already only 86 points. You know, so you can see when even you have a strong artist, you have a kind of cool song, if you do average staging, it already mess up your points already. So, and they could have a good staging. Watch my masterclass actually about Zari, what I did, why they weren't be on much higher placing in general. I think the staging ruined it. With little details, watch my masterclass. Really, I know how to create stagings. I understand those all principles, and I can tell you what was the reason. Anyway, Ireland. Let's get back to Ireland. Position number 3. For me, this is a mystery song. It's not a great song, but it's an okay song. Okay songs, when you're average, is a risk. This is basically, it's screaming this. It's the screaming average song in all of it, in performance, in the song itself, maybe in the staging. Let's see how it will be approached as a song itself. But I'm putting a big question mark over here, because I don't think this is a song to be voted for by public. But to be a devil's advocate, it's a very family friendly song. It's a very family friendly artist. It's nice, if I'm a kid, if I'm I think it's this nice, it has this nice vibe, which I think it's sometimes also very, very important. And also what it does have is UK in the semi-final, also Australia in the semi-final, so it will suck up some points. I think this is again one of those borderline-ish qualifier, which we can talk about many countries maybe in the semi-final. But let's go further. Let's go on position number 4. So I put question mark on Ireland. Let's go on to position number 4, which is Latvia. And Latvia, Tautu Meitas, yeah, this is very pagan, very local, very traditional song, kind of, but coming from the tradition song from Latvia. And we know that those songs do kind of very well at Eurovision. In 2023, Estonia made it from number 4 position, Switzerland made it for number 4 position, and Latvia, let's see. We cannot compare, right? You can see that Estonia in 2023, in the second semi-final, had Alikavi Bridges, which was this very nice ballad, very nice performed, very nice sung. Now, this is very important. Switzerland last year, they had the superior song of that particular year by far. They won all the jury points. They didn't won the public vote even in their semi-final, I think. In 2024, they were 4th already, but then with the juries, they were mixed up, of course. And this is Latvia. Now, Latvia last year also qualified, and why they qualified? Not because they had a good staging. They qualified because they had a really good song and strong artist. Actually, the staging, I think, caused them much better result. But yet, as you can see, what are the important thing for people to vote for? Importance is if the artist can perform and if he has a good song. And I think Latvia has all of those ingredients. I think they can have actually also this additional thing, which is a good staging, if they will continue what we're doing in the finals of their national selection. So they have all the ingredients to qualify, basically. And I think Latvia is qualifying because they also bring something which people like. Of course, it's a little bit more boring song, might be, but if we go by data, if we go what people are normally voting for, Latvia has all the ingredients. Staging, brilliant singing, performers really can, it's performance. So Latvia, for me, in my opinion, it's a clear qualifier, and I wouldn't be even surprised if they will be qualifying from one of the higher places. And then we go to Armenia from position number 5. Now, Belgium qualified in 2023, and Belgium qualified in 2023 with the song Because of You, LGBT funny, uplifting song, uplifting performance, which was really kind of, I think this was the thing, it was very uplifting, and again, it was very nicely sung and performed. The staging was really cool. It really worked. Not perfect staging whatsoever, but it was working. Czechia, on the other hand, last year, I think they, if I just take without the genesis of the performance, they didn't have a really good staging. Some people say yes, they used those boxes and so on, but it was a mess. And The performance was kind of okay, but not charismatic. And they almost qualified. Yes, they did almost qualify because I think what they had, the song was really good. Armenia. For me, it would be a mystery because I saw the live performance in the national selection. Not really strong performer in the way of singing. Extremely strong performer in the way of charisma and amazing staging. Because how they edited, how they did it, it was really screaming. The song artistry was really embodied by the staging. Really, it was amazing staging. Maybe one of the best staging I saw this year in national selections. On the way, how the staging was complementary to the song and the artist, and how it all worked together. So for me, I wouldn't say Armenia is a clear qualifier, but I think they already have this 1+ ingredients. Then they don't have maybe this song ingredients, but it's this rockish, more like powerful song, manpower, which I think this is with Serbia the only song which kind of screams this really like manpower, masculine, heterosexual, which Eurovision missing almost completely in general. And I think this must be compelling for some people who would like to watch Eurovision from a different perspective as a musical contest. But the singing, and also, is this target group really watching Eurovision semifinal? I would put big question mark in here, even though maybe I would like this to qualify, but I don't want to be devil's advocate, and I want to be very realistic in this point and point out critique and point out positives and negatives. And this is for me a question mark, because the good singing, as I said in completely beginning on the video or video number 1, this is one of the first things. If the singing is not good, the chances that the artist or the country will qualify is almost zero. So if they will not improve this part, there is no chance for them to qualify. And this cannot definitely count for Austria. Now, Austria was number 6 also previous year, qualified. And Cyprus was number 6 the previous year, the year before, qualified. All performances very nice. Singing, what was Austria last year? Actually, no, Austria last year was not really good singing. It was the downside. So that was exception from the rule that the good singing is not all the time the thing. But almost Austria didn't qualify last year. It was very close to not qualification. 46 points, only 8 points from non-qualifying. And not really a great quality, but great staging. I would say great staging, and also the song was strong. In this year, I don't think we need to doubt Austria at all. It will be a great singing. The staging, we'll see how great it will be, but let's see. But already you have a great song and great singing, 100%. And like, we are talking about a country which probably will win Eurovision. If I should bet my money, this is the winner of Eurovision. Like, I'm also no doubting that this song doesn't have a match in this year's Eurovision. You don't need to agree, but it's like with Nemo last year. The song last year didn't have a match in there. Didn't. And then Nemo and the staging, they basically were complementary to the fact of what the song represents. And they won not public vote, but they won the jury vote by far. And I think this will be the same case this year, or very similar case. I don't want to compare those two songs, but I'm comparing that the quality is so superior of the song that if they will do everything to complement it with the artist's charisma, performance and staging, this is clear winner of Eurovision 2025, and definitely a qualifier. Even maybe, and I would be, even though in this semifinal there are not those big countries who are receiving so many, even Israel is winning this for sure, but Austria definitely is qualifying, so there is no doubt of them qualifying. Then UK comes, which will even more support this thesis, because it will be like, oh my god, we are coming back to what era of Eurovision somehow, I don't know, but it will be probably very well sung. But singing is not everything if you don't have a good song. Anyway, here then we go from this craziness, what the hell has happened, to 7th place, which is Greece. Now, Greece, I would say it's easily qualifying. Let's see. from 7th place in semi-final 2, last 2 years no one qualified. Neither Iceland, which they had, but this is very hard to compare, right? Which they have Delia with Power, which was actually very good, strong song, not really good staging, but really good, strong song, good performance. And also Denmark last year, what was Denmark last year? Oh, with Sen Saba, which was good song, good staging, but not really confident performance, let's put it this way. And Greece, I think, kind of coming to this category also. And now, Claudia is brilliant performer as a singer, but the charisma, I think it's kind of like, it will be confident, more confident. I'm curious how they will work with the staticness of her, how they will really play with this, because she's very static. The song is not that static from the second half. If they will do good staging, they're qualifying. I think in here there is the thing. If they will be able to do a good staging and complement the art, help the artist to stand out a little bit, because Claudia, in my opinion, it's not this standout artist. It's a standout singer, but not standout artist. They will qualify. If they will not be able to manage the staging, they won't. So I would write now a question mark, because the difference can be very high result in the semifinal or borderline qualifier. And I'm putting in borderline now, which I will not put Lithuania. And I will tell you reasons. So first of all, 8th place. Okay, they are finishing. They are ending the first half, which sometimes worked. Didn't work for Greece in 2023, but come on, it was a terrible performance, absolutely horrible. And Armenia last year qualify easier because they bring joy, but they bring very confident performance, regardless the quality of the song. But the performance was really good, and they after all made it from the 3rd place. And I think this will be the case also for Lithuania for many reasons. First of all, diaspora. They will activate the diaspora everywhere. They will activate also the voters everywhere, because the performance of there, especially what I saw from and this is not such a strong song at some point, but it's absolutely authentic. The performance, the charisma of the artist, it has the singing. There is basically not this question mark about neither of it. The staging already worked, the artist already worked, the song already worked, the singing is not questionable. So what to question in here, especially when Lithuania has also diaspora? I think this will be one of the dark horses to reach top 5, top 10. I think this is for sure top 10 song this year, but definitely this is a qualifier. There is zero doubts about it. I wouldn't question it at all, because there is not a weak point of it unless you don't like the song itself. Okay, this is one of the subjective manners, but objectively, by the facts I mentioned, like in the first video or in the before semi-final first, is that those kind of full packages, they have no problem to go through, because they are not that questionable, you know. And whenever there is nothing not really to be so questionable, it's qualifying, especially in public voting. So this is going through. Lithuania is clear qualifier. And then we have a halftime, and after this, 9th position goes to Malta, and Malta has all the factors. It's funny, it's energetic, it will be very well performed, she can sing, it's controversial, and despite the fact that Malta doesn't have this diaspora and neighbor voting, it needs to bring in quality. They are bringing in the quality. Even you can question it's too much or it's something, but I can question it about any joke act about this, but you can tell that most of them will qualify, right? This above the joke acts, because it has this jokish element in it. It has also quality, and it has also some pop, like really pop music elements, which is understandable for anybody, and also it's controversial. And it has also a good story that it was kind of cancelled by UK and so on, you know. Of course, if they are smart about it, this will get high, because everybody already helped it. They didn't even need to try, but they try. They have it. Serving with Mirjana Conte is going through 100%, and also history tell that the opener of the second semi-final is always second half is getting through. Malta is getting through. Then on 10th position we have Georgia, and from 10th position Slovenia in 2023 qualified. San Marino didn't qualify, and public vote, I don't think it will help Georgia in here. First of all, of the controversy, which they have, not in a good way. Second of all, it's extremely complicated song for general public. I believe that if you compare Georgia's points from jury, if she will be able to sing, of course, if she will be able to perform, for example, something like Moldova last year, if she will be able to really, because she's very charismatic on camera, very charismatic, the juries will put it to the finals, but it's only public voting in here. It's too complicated song for public, in my opinion, to kind of go with there. So unless they will be able to create some magic with the staging that it will burn out to you, Georgia is not qualifying. And I'm not even putting the question mark in here because I think it's too even if she can sing, she can really sing very well, but it's too complicated song for general audience, and there is no juries to save it. So I don't think Georgia is qualifying. I'm very skeptical to this. And then especially after Georgia, France go. So in here the people will say like, what did I just saw? Maybe it's good or what? And then we'll go France and we'll prove you that artistic song, simple song with something which is compelling, so basically understandable, regardless the language in which it is sung. But regardless this, France will show you that this is how you make such a music work even for general public. Even though you cannot vote, this is why it's unfair to the countries, because this is like in your face, you know, this is how you should do it, kind of like France. That's why they shouldn't compete. Not because I would wish Georgia to go through or not, but because they will now show you in the face how it should be done from the country who shouldn't compete in the semi-final. So this is wrong, but this will be a slap, you know. So that's why Georgia is not qualifying. Then France go. On 11th place, Denmark is. And now, some people say, I doubt this qualifying, but I think this has all the formula to qualify, right? It's a dancey track, it's very well sung, it's very rememberable, you can have a party, especially after France and Georgia is there, so kind of boring, let's say. This will make your tempo again back, of course. Come on, Denmark is qualifying. Even Georgia, but Georgia has no natural countries voting for it. I think Denmark has a little bit better position over here, but anyway, Georgia was 11 in 2023. Georgia qualified last year. Maybe I have a mistake in here. I'm sorry. I would say I have a mistake over here. No, Firefighter, yes, they qualified. They had this Eurovision cliché, something like Poland this year, let's say. Better, but something like Poland. So there's such songs to qualify. And I think actually this formula Denmark also has. It's not this diva thing, but it has tempo, it has energy. It will wake you up after Georgia and France. So definitely Denmark is qualifying. Zero doubts about it. And I have already 6 countries to qualify, 4 to go. Easy peasy, because on number 12, Czechia is. 12 was San Marino, didn't make it. Belgium on number 12 last year didn't make it. Czechia will make it, and I will tell you why. Regardless, I think they could have bigger ambition. They have big ambitions. They will not fulfill such ambition. If there will be no change in the song, there is no chance. Like, let's be honest about it. I don't think they will do the best result Czechia had so far. If they will reach top 10, I'm also kind of on the verge. I think they will be this nice mid-table, because the song is trying to please everybody, and this is how it ends up. But unless San Marino, and definitely unless Belgium, Adonis can sing strongly that you will remember it. You will remember it, that you will doubt this. It's like, such a shame, but it's a strong, good song. I don't think it's a doubt of even the borderline. I think it will be this nice song, more likely upper from the public voting than less. I think it has this power. Like, I know I'm Czech, so this is always a little bit biased, but for example, last year I didn't believe that the song will qualify. I was actually surprised for such a really good placing. So I think they did much better, of course, than national selection this year, because I know Adonis, he really can sing and can perform. I doubt that they will do like some crazy good staging, because they didn't prove it so far, but maybe some other people are doing it. But still, the song itself and the performer himself, they can do it. So I have no doubts. That would be Czechia is qualifying in this case because also the singing is very specific and it's good. Then we go number 13, Luxembourg. From number 13, last 2 years everybody qualified. Both Austria and Estonia last year with the funny song. Luxembourg is bringing what it brings. I think it brings something very similar what Ireland is bringing. Very similar. It has France to be voted for. It has Germany to be voted for, from at least. So there are some countries to help it with voting, but I think this is one of those borderline qualifiers. It has things what you would say nice, but in national selection the artist has serious problems with singing, and you can tell, it's quite good. No, like, it's quite good, it's not good. It's like perfect singing, like notes are hit, and then how to play with the voice, like those advances, but we are not reaching the basic level of singing in here. So for me, a borderline question line. If I should choose between this and Ireland, I would choose Ireland because of the singing quality. Yes, so this is for me Luxembourg. Then on number 14, Albania went in 2023, qualified. Israel went in 2024, qualified, and Israel going into 2025 and qualify. And still they have one of the strongest songs this year. I have some critics to this song. Watch my reactions to it. It's not because I don't like it. It's because I see that the potential were much bigger than what they did with the song to, again, satisfy everybody, kind of, which doesn't at least work for me. But if somebody doubting Israel is qualifying, come on, be realistic. Israel definitely qualifying. I wouldn't even be surprised if it's qualifying from the first place this year again, as it was last year. So this is no doubt from my perspective. No, zero doubts. It will be a strong performance. And if it's not even having France in this, which can kind of say like, oh, there is better song, maybe let's put the song. It can confuse a little bit Israel. Come on, it's in this case, in this scenario, in this semi-final, it's with Austria the superior song. Yes, it's much better than the most, even though it's not as strong as last year, I would say. But this is my suggestion. Anyway, then Germany comes again, break a little bit of this competing thing with the dancey track, and I'm very curious in here with Germany especially, because of course now you can find the versions, because the versions of the final performance from the national selection, you can find them, but they are covered with the studio version of the song, so it's not a real live now what you can see. And of course it looks perfect, and then the song is really good in my opinion. I really like the German song this year, but if you will have a chance to compare to the live performance, the real live performance, that was the worst singing in years, really. So if this singing will be repeat at Eurovision, Germany will be deadly last in the finals. If not, I think they could do a nice result. Nothing extra, but for Germany, I think to be above 20th place, perfect. It's not that great song in my opinion. Anyway, 15 Serbia. Now from 15th place, everybody qualified from last 2 years. Lithuania, also Norway last year, which was songs. Norway was Ulveham, very luckily get through. I think it was because of the charisma of the artist. Otherwise, I don't really understand. But okay, they still qualified 15th place. So it means something, and I think get to the end, you will more burn up to the people's minds. But still, it's nothing that you need to do. And in 2023, also Lithuania qualified with Stay for Monika Lintike, which was a quality of performing. Not such a crazily good song, but it was a quality of performing. So in 2025, we have Serbia, and I did a second thought reaction on this revamped version. And you would say that Serbia, like with such an obsolete song, it cannot qualify, it doesn't have it. But I will be a little bit devil's advocate in here, and I will put a question mark in here, because I think it's an obsolete song, but it's performed very well. Like, Prince can really sing, can really perform it. Second, he is this heartbreaking looking guy from the jungle, kind of this night. Like, he's not looking LGBT plus guy, which will be compelling for all the women, in my opinion, who is looking for a real man. Kind of this cliché thing, but they will vote for him because this is the guy who look like from the telenovelas, the guy they love, you know, this guy. And you can tell me, Jan, you're super stereotypical and it's not true. Like, let's be real. People are look all those shows, look at all those reality shows, look at all those telenovelas and everything. The stereotypes work. People likes them actually somehow. We should be able to name them, otherwise we won't be able to put a real normal critic. And I think this is the biggest weapon Serbia has. The guy can really perform. He looks how he looks. He looks like a man. That also I think helps. And I think the older generation is actually watching semi-final because it's still kind of a tradition. And it's like, oh my god, finally somebody normal. A man. Really, I'm sure that this will work. It won't work on me, but for the reason of I will look at it more from the song perspective, which I don't think it's a really good song, but he can perform, he can sing. He's going 15. Serbia also will be helped a little bit by diaspora and public voting, maybe. If there will be this protesting, there is no chance. But I'm not putting that this is a sure qualifier, but I'm telling you that this might be the borderline. And Serbia, for past 2 years, regardless of the semi-final they were at, they were always borderline qualifiers. They were always 10th, very luckily passing through. And why not to have this luck this time, especially when they are coming to sing. So, and maybe especially after Germany, if it will be a shocky performance, like in the bad way, he will stand out. Again, that's why Germany shouldn't be there in the first place, because if he goes after Israel directly, that might be a difference. But let's see. And then goes Finland, kind of a, I don't want to say really jokish, because now although my second thought was a little bit different, but let's say strong act with not such a strong song, but qualifier. And first of all, it's something which brings in a little bit of more fun, very Eurovision, something stereotypical somehow. Also the topic, stereotypical. This is also this is a Eurovision stereotypical thing. And I think it's qualifying. First of all, both countries, Australia and Netherlands, qualified from previous years. The song is fine. I think if you just go with this, it's this better average song. I think it will receive a lot of public votes. This is a song made for public vote. And Erika Wickman, regardless, I don't really like her singing performance from the finals of national selection in Finland. I really like that she was alone there on the stage. And it doesn't feel she's alone there. She really has the charisma to fill the stage, fill the arena, fill the cameras, fill the feeling you had from the song, actually on a little bit higher level than the song maybe deserves. And for me, this is a sure qualifier. So now let's go. How many countries have in sure qualifier? I have Australia, I have Latvia, I have Austria, I have Lithuania, I have Malta, I have Denmark, I have Czechia, I have Israel, and I have Finland. So one place to be filled by Serbia, Luxembourg, Georgia, Greece, Ireland, or Montenegro. And now this is a brilliant thing. I have 9 songs. I'm sure they will qualify. And then I have 7 songs, which all of them can do it, which I'm almost sure Georgia is out of this. And now, will it be Greece? Or will it be Ireland, Montenegro, Serbia, or Luxembourg? And now, who will people vote for the most? Which is the most compelling? And also Armenia. So I think from this case, Armenia is out. Again, Israel will vote for it. Maybe some fans will vote for it because of the staging. But it doesn't have such a power as Serbia or Montenegro, for example, even though it represents something. So I think it will be very, very crazy to watch the borderliners, because on the other hand, those 9 songs I put to finals, I don't think they will have such a problem. I think it will be something like in 2023. In 2023, which, yes, 2023 was crazy. Like, so the 10th place, there were also 16 songs. 10th place, Estonia was 10th with Alika and the Bridges. Only public voting. She received 74 points and she was 10th. The 11th, which was Iceland, received 44. And I think in here, those 9 songs which I mentioned are qualifying. They will receive exactly something about 90, 80. Not crazy differences, but big differences between the 10th place and 11 and so on. And I don't know which song I would put to be 10th. I would say that maybe Latvia can be 10th. And yes, from this standpoint, I would say also Czechia or Latvia, but I would more likely say Latvia will. Okay, but let's put those songs. They will be kind of, but they will both qualify. Yes, I have no doubt of them qualifying. But then would it be Georgia or would it be Greece? Now I would be doubting Greece. Diasporas can help. But they can help also Serbia. They can help also Greece, also Armenia. They can help also Montenegro. Like, I honestly, I don't know. I would say that in here we have a surprise that Greece will not qualify because the charisma of the artists wouldn't be that compelling to be voted for, and juries are not here to save. And I would say that people will vote for something which they had fun with, which will be Ireland. Ireland or one of Montenegro or Serbia. And hard for me to say, but I would say that if I should choose who will not qualify, it's Greece. And it's not anything against Greece. I like the song. But I saw the performance, I saw the charisma of the artist, I saw also the music video. And if something won't stand out there, is the artist. In the other, and Luxembourg is not qualifying then. And in the other example, Serbia and Montenegro and also Ireland, the artists kind of stand out more than in Greece, which is the big. They will not change it somehow. If they will not work on it, I think even the song is nice. It's also it might be a little bit boring. So this will be interesting on the semifinal. There is for me 9 sure qualifiers, and then somebody will sneak in, but I think there will be huge differences in the points, something like it was in 2023. So this is what I think. Crazy long video, analytical. You can agree, you don't need to agree. I don't care if you agree, because this is what I think. What I care is if you don't agree or agree, why? Because the why is important. Because anything else is possible. I really would like to know, why do you think, for example, Greece is surely qualifying? Try to not be only fans. Try to really think about it in complexity, in some context, and write me in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and if you want to support me and what I did and what I'm doing, and I'm crazy, become members. I would be very happy if you do supporting me. And also I do special content for you, exclusive, so on. So see you there, hopefully. And regardless this, see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.